Good evening and thanks for joining us. What was an attempt to connect students with volunteer work through the We charity is blowing into a big political crisis for Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. A number of probes are now underway, including an ethics investigation. And now the opposition Conservatives are asking the RCMP to look into it.
It's very clear that there is sufficient grounds for this matter to be investigated by the police. We have a nearly $1 billion sole-sourced contract awarded by the Prime Minister, and we know that there are significant financial benefits that have been received by the family of the Prime Minister, totaling more than $350,000.
That money was appearance fees paid by the charity to Trudeau's mother and brother. His wife, Sophie, was also given a small fee. Despite those close ties, Trudeau did not recuse himself from the decision to give We the contract to administer $900 million in student volunteer work. That contract has since been pulled. But as David Akin explains, the demands for answers have just begun.
Well, Donna, Parliament's Ethics Commissioner is already investigating. There are calls for the Auditor General to do the same, and not one, but two House of Commons committees will spend the summer investigating. But that's not enough for the federal Conservatives. They want the Mounties called in.
It's now essential that we have a criminal investigation into this matter.
The tipping point for the Tories, new revelations that Justin Trudeau's mother, Margaret, received $312,000 from We, and Trudeau's brother, Alexandre, received $40,000. Money paid for speaking engagements over the last several years, but all while Trudeau was Prime Minister. Even Trudeau's wife, Sophie, got a $1,200 check from We for an event in 2012 before Trudeau was PM.
It's an organization that has not just given members of the Trudeau family a platform, but a paycheck as well. So that's why we think it warrants this level of investigation.
And there are new questions for members of Trudeau's cabinet. One of Finance Minister Bill Morneau's daughters is an employee of We, and another of his daughters has spoken for free at a We event. Morneau's office said that did not factor into the government's decision, and he did not recuse himself from discussions about We, despite his family's connections. So, did anyone in cabinet raise any red flags about the deal? Did ministers know about the money We was paying Trudeau's family? They're not saying.
Any discussions that take place in cabinet, as you're fully aware of, are subject to cabinet confidentiality.
And in any event, it was the civil service who told cabinet to do the deal with We.
The directions that we take are really based on the nonpartisan advice that we get from our public servants. They made a very clear recommendation.
Global News asked the 34 other members of the cabinet if they knew about the Trudeau family's connection to We. Not one even acknowledged our questions.
If I were a cabinet minister sitting around that table, I would be very upset if this was kept hidden from me and I signed off on something without all that information, knowing that.
Now, as for the Prime Minister himself, he has had no public events since news broke of his family's connection to We, and has yet to answer any questions on the matter. Donna?
And David, where does this leave the $900 million student grant program?
Well, the government website is up and running. It is taking applications from charities and nonprofits who have vacant positions, and it's taking applications from students. Those applications will be taken up to August 21st. Right now, about 35,000 students have applied for about 23,000 vacancies. Positions like social media ambassador, food bank clerk, senior citizens assistants, and so on. None of these pay a wage, but if you complete a certain number of hours volunteering, Ottawa will send you a check at the end of the summer worth up to $5,000. Donna?
Okay, David in Ottawa, thank you.